Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 53. Today we're going out of this world to look at a third-party homage to the G1 Cosmos. It's the iGear MW-04 UFO. Starting off looking at the packaging, we see that UFO comes packaged in a standard cardboard box, and it looks like they've tried to kind of emulate the grid pattern from a lot of the G1 packaging in the background. There's also artwork of UFO in vehicle and his robot mode. I did also think it was kind of cute that they took the famous "Till All Are One" and turned it to "Till All Are Fun," although I don't know exactly why they had to put it twice on the front here. But overall, the packaging isn't too bad. The back of the packaging features some line artwork of the figure in both robot and vehicle mode, as well as a short bio paragraph over here on the right. Of particular interest in this bio paragraph, it kind of implies that he's going to be in trouble if he ever does actually face an enemy, since his gun is actually a kid's toy given to him as a joke. Which, given the fact that it looks like a 50s kid's ray gun, is kind of hilarious. So, when you open the packaging up, you find UFO packaged in vehicle mode inside. And the vehicle mode is very faithful to the Cosmos figure, which it's homaging. It's, basically a 50s style flying saucer design. In fact, the original Cosmos actually looked a little thicker, and I think this design actually looks better than the original Cosmos toy spaceship mode. The critiques, though, that I do have of this figure, color-wise, if it is homaging Cosmos, the green is much too bright. It's even in the G1 cartoon show, the colors weren't this cartoony, so they could have toned that down, used a bit more of a darker or more of a military green color. The yellow is actually fairly bright too. But yellow is usually supposed to be a bright color, so I don't mind that as much. The other issue I do have with the vehicle mode is on the bottom. It's fairly hollow and open here, and I wish they could have done something a little bit more, if they could have put panels or something to fold down and kind of cover this bottom a little bit to give it that nice clean rounded bottom look. But overall, I'm fairly happy with it. The largest accessory to come with UFO is, of course, the plastic stand, display stand that he comes with, and this is really a must if you want to display the figure in vehicle mode. Because of that rounded bottom, he just doesn't sit right, unless they would have put some sort of landing gears on him or something. But I think this is a great idea. There's a little bit of a problem in the execution, though. The joints in this stand are very loose, and if you put him too far over, he just falls over. So you pretty much have to have there's just enough friction in these joints to keep it upright, so you pretty much have to use the whole length of the stand vertically to display him like this, because if you start putting angles in there, it just tips over. So it's a great idea. I just wish they could have executed it a little better. Now onto UFO's transformation. There really isn't much to it. UFO's limbs are all on ball joints, so his transformation basically consists of pulling out his limbs and turning them to face the right direction. Now, the tabs that hold the limbs in place in vehicle mode can be pretty tight at first. It took a bit of effort to get the limbs apart on my first time through the transformation. Fortunately, the friction at these tabs gets worn down fairly quickly. After transforming him 2 or 3 times, the tabs came loose fairly easily. The only other issue with the transformation I've had is the head. The head slot on my figure is also very tight and requires working the rear fin back and forth to get the head to slide up into position. Overall, though, he's a pretty simple figure. So here we have UFO in his robot mode, and this is probably one of the best representations of Cosmos that we've seen in a toy form yet, at least that's been released to the public. There's been a few prototypes out there that looked pretty neat, but we never saw them. But yeah, he's a decent little figure. As far as articulation goes, he has a rotating head there. He's got ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, not really any wrist articulation. He's got a hip or waist swivel there, ball-jointed hips, ball-jointed knees, and well, that's about it for articulation. But yeah, he is a decent little figure. One of the biggest hindrances to UFO's articulation is the way his forearms are shaped here, because they keep this segmented look for the UFO, the circle of the UFO look. The point out here really does kind of limit where this arm can move. And one thing they could have done is maybe put like a little post in there to allow that to extend just a little bit, and I think that would have helped articulation quite a bit. Just a general note in articulation-wise, and I know this point has been brought up on the forums many times as well. Generally, his articulation seems to be a little lacking for a figure of this size. To be honest, I really don't mind it that much, simply because this is the best representation we've gotten of Cosmos, and I can deal with a little bit of the limited articulation. Could they have done a better job for a figure this size? Yeah, I think they could have. But really, I'm happy with what we've got here. The one weapon that UFO comes with is this small pistol that he comes with. And as I mentioned in the bio, it states that it's a kid's toy gun. But the way it's styled, it's got that 50s look with the lightning bolt on the side and the fin. I mean, it looks just like something out of, like, Buck Rogers or some other cheesy, 30s, 40s, 50s space movie. And given his flying saucer nature, I think it's very appropriate, and I think whoever came up with this idea at iGear needs to be praised for keeping that theme going. Now, one of the things is trying to figure out exactly what size class UFO would fall under. If you compare him to a recent release of one of his mini-bot brethren here, the Cyberverse Power Glide, he's definitely much bigger than a Cyberverse Commander figure. But if you compare him to a deluxe, the amount of plastic there may be similar, but he's definitely much shorter than that. I would say he does fall about the old Scout size figures, but with the all the bulk in his arms and his legs, plastic-wise, he probably has about the same amount of plastic as some of the current deluxes. Where you put him in your lineup is probably up to you, but engineering-wise, though, he's much closer to the Cyberverse level of engineering than any deluxes we have out now. The iGear Mini Warrior UFO is a great supplement to your Classics collection. The Legends class Universe figure we got really wasn't much of an update over the G1 Minibot. This figure offers a better aesthetic and overall better figure than what we've currently been offered from Hasbro. And that bubble helmet over his head is cool enough on its own to make him a worthwhile purchase. The figure is very simple though, and may not be for everyone. While on his own, UFO is nothing special. If you like Cosmos, this is the figure to have.